All right, settle in. Today we are heading into the heat. And I don't mean like a beach vacation with a pina colada in hand.
No, not at all.
I'm talking about the kind of heat that sits on your chest like a physical weight. We are going to the Florida Panhandle.
The Redneck Riviera, as it's often called, a place of red dirt, humidity that you can practically chew on, and a very specific kind of judgment.
Exactly. We are diving into The Girls Who Grew Big, the new novel by Leila Mottley. Now, you might remember her name. She wrote Nightcrawling.
Which was huge. Oprah's book club, a massive bestseller.
And she wrote that first book when she was, what, 17?
17.
I
Which
know.
is, frankly, mind-blowing. It's almost irritating how talented she is at such a young age.
It really is. But she's back, and she's returned with something that feels even more visceral, if that's, like, even possible.
I think it is.
So here's the setup for today. We're in a town called Padua Beach. It's a town that feels like it's built entirely on secrets and what people think of you. You know the vibe. Y'all being good now? Whispered in the grocery store aisle. But the eyes are saying something totally different.
It's a town where reputation is currency. And if you lose it, you are essentially exiled. It's a closed ecosystem. It's really hard to get back in once you're out.
And the people we're focusing on today are the ultimate exiles. They are the girls, capital G, a group of teenage mothers who have basically formed their own society.
In the back of a red pickup truck, of all places.
I mean, on the surface, it sounds like a premise for a reality show, doesn't it?
Totally. Like Teen Mom or 16 and Pregnant.
But what Motley is doing here is just, she's deconstructing that entire genre. She's taking the camera away and giving us the interiority of these young women.
Exactly. That's the key.
That's the hook for me. It's this collision between the freedom of being a teenager, dancing, listening to music, eating junk food, and the crushing primal responsibility of motherhood.
And how those two things try to exist in the same body at the same time. It's almost impossible. And it's about how society treats that collision. So this isn't just a drama. It's a study on social exile. It's about how a community shames young women for their biology while, at the same time, completely ignoring their actual physical needs.
Right.
So the mission of this deep dive is to really unpack how three very different girls, Simone, Adela, and Emory, navigate this specific ecosystem of shame and survival. Because they aren't just characters. They represent like different facets of this survival mechanism.
Okay, so let's start with that collective identity, because the book actually opens with a section called First Trimester, and it's told in this collective we.
It's like a Greek chorus.
Yes.
Yeah.
But instead of robes, they're wearing cutoff shorts and nursing tanks.
That collective voice is fascinating. It establishes the girls as a single organism before we even meet them individually. It says our whole lives, all we'd been was blurs.
Wow.
They're used to being the background characters in everyone else's story. They are the scenery of the town, not the protagonists.
But then biology hits them. And the way the text describes the physical transformation is just so raw. It talks about breast swelling and the itching of a new thing grasping for life.
That word itching,
Yeah.
it really stuck with me.
Me too.
It's so uncomfortable. It suggests that pregnancy here isn't initially felt as this, blessed, glowing event. It's invasive.
Yeah.
The text describes it as a foreign thing, sharing the body.
It's almost parasitic in the language.
It is a foreign thing.
And there's this great line about where the realization hits them. It's not in some quiet, reflective moment.
No, it's in the middle of life.
It's in geometry class, solving for the area of an isosceles triangle, or while scooping mashed potatoes at the school cafeteria, or, and this is the one that really gets you, mid-fuck in the twin bed of a boy we aren't sure we like.
That juxtaposition is the whole point.
Yeah.
You have the mundane reality of being a teenager, geometry, mashed potatoes, awkward sex, crashing right into the biological imperative of reproduction. And the town views this transition not as a natural event, but as a moral failure.
Oh, absolutely. They're viewed as a transgression to all things good and pure. The town looks at them and sees sin. But the girls, they look at each other and see survival.
Which brings us to the setting. Padua Beach is the pressure cooker for all of this. It's not just a backdrop. It's basically an antagonist.
The heat. Oh my gosh, the descriptions of the heat are so intense. It says the heat makes throats feel soggy. I read that and I could almost feel the air in my own lungs getting heavy.
It's oppressive. The environment mirrors the entrapment of the characters. Padua Beach is described as a place people leave or get stuck in. There's no middle ground.
And if you're a teenage mother, you are definitely stuck.
Definitely. The landscape traps you just as much as your circumstances do.
But they carve out their own space. And that space is the red truck.
The red truck is the central symbol of the novel, for sure. It belongs to Simone's boyfriend, Tooth, but really it belongs to the girls.
It's everything. It's a mobile home, a nursery, a clubhouse, and a getaway vehicle all in one.
It's where they exist outside of the town's rules.
Yeah.
The town is built on this passive-aggressive quiet, right?
Yeah, the whispers.
The whispers. And the girls, they are loud. They are dancing in the truck bed. They are taking up space.
They are the response to the silence, and leading that response is Simone.
Yes.
Okay, so we have to unpack Simone. Because if the girls are an organism, Simone is the heart. She is the ringleader.
She is the primal matriarch.
Right.
And her authority, where she gets her power, it all comes from her origin story. Every superhero has an origin story, and Simone's is, well, it's unforgettable.
It really is.
It sets the tone for the entire book.
It's arguably one of the most intense birth scenes I have ever read. She's 16 years old, and she gives birth to twins, Luck and Lion, in the back of that same pickup truck.
And we have to look at why, right? It's not because she wanted some kind of trendy natural water birth.
Not at all.
It's because she had no insurance, and she was terrified of the hospital's judgment. She didn't want nurses looking at her, a 16-year-old girl with a much older boyfriend, thinking, oh, here we go again. She chose the dirt and the danger over the shame.
That says so much right there.
It does.
So she does it in the truck. But the birth itself isn't even the craziest part. It's what happens after. The babies are out. But then comes the placenta.
Nobody ever warns you about the placenta. That's the opening line of her section. It's such a visceral, overlooked detail. You have these two babies, but you're still tethered to them. The body isn't done yet.
And her boyfriend, Tooth, who, by the way, sounds like a total winner just based on his name alone.
Right, Tooth.
He is completely useless. The book says he's holding the babies like grocery bags with the handles torn off. He's just repulsed by the mess.
He represents that total male disconnect from the biological reality. He was part of making the babies, but he can't handle the gore of their arrival. He wants to go find a knife to cut the cords, but all he has is a pocket knife that's crusted with, what was it?
Fish guts. Crusted with fish guts and dried blood.
Fish guts. I mean, the risk of infection there is just, it's off the charts. It made me physically recoil reading it.
Me too. And Simone knows that. In that moment, surrounded by fluid and blood in a truck bed, she realizes she is the only adult in the room.
Yes.
She realizes she is the only one who can keep these babies safe. Tooth is a child in a man's body, and he's just incapacitated by the reality of life.
He's useless. So what does she do?
She bites through the umbilical cords with her own teeth.
It is an act of absolute savage protection. And it's an act of severance, too. She isn't just cutting the babies free from her body. She is cutting herself free from the expectation that someone else is going to save her.
And the detail she uses to describe it. She says the cords felt like pasta before it's cooked through. That detail, it just sticks with you. It takes something so mundane like pasta and makes it both horrific and heroic at the same time.
It's so sensory and completely unromanticized. But it establishes her dominance. From that moment on, she is the expert. She knows what it takes to survive. That's why she becomes the leader of the girls. She has, walked through the fire.
But, and here's where it gets so complicated. We jump forward 4 years. Simone is now 20, nearly 21. The twins are toddlers.
Right.
She loves them. She says they saved her life. But she's starting to find herself again, a part of herself that isn't just mom.
She's claiming an identity beyond motherhood. She's looking forward to the future, maybe imagining a life that actually belongs to her, not just to them.
And then the crisis. She's behind a gas station. She takes a pregnancy test, and it's positive.
And it's this tragedy of the cycle. Just as she's surfacing for air, the wave just pulls her right back down. A new baby isn't a blessing in this context.
No, it's a sentence.
It's a sentence.
She says it sets her back 5 years. It ties her permanently to Tooth. And she's just now realizing she doesn't want to be with Tooth forever.
That's the heartbreak of it. She equates the dread of that positive test to the dread of having to birth the placenta. It's the aftermath that nobody warned you about.
Exactly.
She knows exactly what's coming, and that knowledge makes it worse, not better. Ignorance was, I don't know, maybe not bliss, but at least there was hope. Knowledge is just a heavyweight.
So you have Simone, who is the veteran, the one who knows way too much. And then on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, you have Adela.
Adela is our outsider, and her story allows us to see Padua Beach through these fresh, very critical eyes.
Right. So Adela is from Indianapolis. She's Black, but from an affluent suburb. Her parents are college graduates. She's a competitive swimmer with Olympic dreams. She is, on paper, the perfect girl.
The perfect girl, until she gets pregnant. And for her parents, who have built their lives on respectability politics, this is a reputation destroyer.
They don't help her. They don't support her navigate it. They literally ship her off.
It's unbelievable.
They send her away to hide in Florida with her grandmother, Noni.
It's such an old-school punishment. It's like something out of the 50s. It's go away until the problem is gone. It's hiding the shame in the closet, or in this case, in the panhandle.
And the betrayal runs so deep because we find out she was snitched on by her rival swimmer, Violet DeFleur.
Violet.
Violet went into her locker, found the pregnancy test, and told the coach just to eliminate the competition.
Which highlights how precarious Adela's position was to begin with. Her body was an asset to the team until the moment it became a liability. She was valued for her speed, not for her humanity.
So she lands in Padua Beach, and it is immediate, profound culture shock. She calls the environment gritty. She sees the girls dancing at a gas station, and she's just horrified.
She judges them so harshly, she calls them ruthless. She notices their gap teeth and their tonsils enlarged in the heat. She sees them as everything she is not.
She's clinging to her superiority because it's the only thing she has left.
Totally. She's in denial. She thinks, I am just here for a few months, then I'm going back to my real life. But then she gets to Noni's house.
And Noni's house is like a physical manifestation of this completely different kind of life.
Oh, yeah. The hoarding. Piles of newspapers, antique lamps with beads. It's chaotic, cluttered, and dusty. It's the opposite of her clean, controlled world.
And there's this incredible scene that basically sums up the entire class and cultural conflict between them. It's the lettuce versus potato debate.
Yes, I love this part.
Adela criticizes Noni for eating McDonald's. She suggests Noni should buy something healthier, like a salad, with the money Adela's dad sends.
Which is so unbelievably condescending, right? It's the classic outsider coming in and saying, why don't you just eat better? Like, it's that simple.
It is. But Noni's response is so profound. She says, life ain't all about whole grains.
And she tells Adela that her body doesn't know the difference between a French fry and a baked potato. It only knows it's being filled.
That is such a key distinction. Adela treats her body like a machine input-output performance. Noni and the girls treat the body as something that needs comfort and substance.
Exactly. Adela views her body as an instrument for sport lean, controlled, efficient. Noni and the girls view the body as a vessel that is constantly under siege by the world. And food is a way to soothe that. It's a survival mechanism versus a performance mechanism.
Right.
Noni is basically teaching her that sometimes survival is just about being full. It's not about being perfect.
And all that control that Adela cherishes, it starts to slip away the moment she sees the ocean for the first time.
The water imagery is so important here. Adela is a swimmer. She belongs in a pool.
A pool is contained, it has lanes, it has walls, you can see the bottom, it represents control.
Exactly. And she climbs the dunes and sees the Gulf of Mexico.
And she feels small. The book says the ocean makes you feel fragile. It reminds you that you can be consumed. The ocean doesn't care about your split times or your Olympic dreams.
It doesn't care at all.
She steps into the water, and she feels the sting of salt. And meanwhile, the girls are watching her from the red truck. It feels like such a potent piece of foreshadowing.
It is. It marks the beginning of her transition. She is moving from the perfect athlete to part of the sea. She is about to be humbled by nature, just like Simone was in that truck bed. She is entering the girls' domain.
So we have Simone, the veteran, Adela, the resistant outsider, and then we have Emory.
Emory. Oh, man. Emory is the reality check.
Emory's story just breaks my heart because she is the one who wanted this.
She did. She planned her pregnancy at 17. She had this whole fantasy worked out in her head.
The golden walk. She pictured her son Kai growing up with her. She imagined him standing next to her at her high school graduation, looking all cute in a little cap and gown.
She thought it'd be like playing house.
Yeah. It's the tragedy of expectations. She bought into the sanitized Instagram version of motherhood. She thought love would be enough to make it easy.
And the reality hits her like a freight train.
Her baby, Kai, is colicky. He won't latch. She is just exhausted beyond belief. Her dream has faded into stretch marks and leaking milk.
And physically, she is suffering. The text focuses on a very specific, painful detail. Her breast pump is broken.
Oh, God. The broken breast pump. And she has no money to buy a new one. Her breasts are rock hard and painful. She is desperate. That detail alone tells you so much about the intersection of poverty and motherhood.
It does. It's a mechanical failure that becomes a physical torture. And this brings us to the racial and family dynamics, which are so complex for Emory.
Right. So Emory is white. She lives with her Grammy and Pawpaw. But her baby daddy, Jaden, is black.
And Jaden happens to be Simone's brother, so everything's connected.
And Pawpaw is. Well, he's old Florida.
He represents that deep-seated casual racism of the area. He refuses to be seen with the baby. He calls Jaden that boy. He completely rejects his own great-grandson because of his race.
It's just hatred living under the same roof.
And Grammy's in it much better, just in a different way. She's so harsh. Emory asks for help, just to buy a new pump or help with feeding the baby, and Grammy just shuts her down. She says, "You a mother now, you don't got no choice."
That line is chilling.
It is. Emory is completely isolated in her own home. Her family provides a roof, but they withhold love and support.
Yeah.
They are punishing her for her choices and for who she chose to have a baby with. It's a very specific and very common kind of cruelty.
So she has nowhere to turn. She is in physical pain. She is lonely. So she crosses the line. She leaves her house to find the girls.
She seeks sanctuary.
Yeah.
And she finds Simone at the church parking lot.
The contrast here is just amazing. Her own grandmother won't help her, but Simone, who is technically her sister-in-law of sorts, though they aren't married,
Right.
she immediately steps up.
Simone is the expert mother. She takes the baby. She checks his mouth for a tongue tie. She sees the problem immediately, without judgment.
And she teaches Emory this trick, and I actually learned something reading this.
Me too.
She says if the baby's hands are balled into fists, he's still hungry, he want to fight. If his hands are open, he's full.
It's a beautiful moment of knowledge transfer. The girls teach each other what the doctors and parents won't. It's practical, lived wisdom. It's the kind of knowledge you only get from doing it.
It's also a moment of acceptance. Simone doesn't judge Emory for not knowing. She just helps.
That is the core of the girls. They are a survival network. They are the ones who catch you when you fall because they know no one else will.
So when we look at these three distinct stories, Simone, Adela, Emory, what is the bigger picture here? What's the synthesis?
Well, think about the progression, right?
Sure.
You have Simone, who's the anchor. She's already been through the fire and come out the other side.
Yeah.
You have Adela, who is the judgmental outsider who's inevitably going to be pulled in.
And you have Emory, the naive dreamer who is getting her reality check in the harshest way possible.
They cover the whole spectrum of the
Yes.
experience.
Yeah.
Exactly. And binding them together is this myth that Emory's Grammy tells. The treasure myth.
Oh, right. The pirate ship with the emeralds.
Grammy tells a story about a pirate ship that spilled emeralds into the sea, which is why the water is so green. She tells Emory that they, the girls, the babies, are treasures, despite the hardship.
Which is such a weird contradiction, isn't it? Grammy is so harsh to her face, but then tells her this beautiful story about being a treasure.
It highlights the complexity of these generational relationships. They're hard on them because the world is hard on them. They were trying to toughen them up. It's like love expressed as severity.
And we can't ignore the economics of this. The book really does not shy away from the poverty.
Not at all. It's not just social shame. It's economic survival. Broken pumps, lack of insurance, unhealthy, cheap food because it fills the belly. The narrative is deeply rooted in the class struggle of the panhandle.
And finally, the water. We keep coming back to the water. It's everywhere.
The water motif creates the atmosphere of the entire book. You have Adela's controlled pool, the dune lake where Simone has to wash her panties, which is another incredible, unglamorous image, and then the vast, dangerous ocean.
Water is cleansing, but it's also dangerous. Emory fears the ocean will literally swallow Adela.
And Simone describes the aftermath of birth as turning her body into a swampland. The setting and the body are inextricably linked. The landscape is the female body in this book, lush, wet, dangerous, and life-giving all at once.
Wow. Okay, so we've met the girls, we've seen the truck, we've felt the heat.
And we've only just scratched the surface of the girls who grew big. It goes so much deeper.
This book, it really challenges you. It forces you to look past the statistic, past the reality TV trope. As Simone says, you won't know till you know.
And for you, listening, the question is, what biases are you bringing to this story? When you hear teen mom in the Florida panhandle, what image pops into your head, and how does the story just shatter that image into a million pieces?
And here's a final thought to leave you with. The source material mentions that Adela, the swimmer, was too close to the waves, and Emory knew the water would swallow her.
There is a collision coming. The perfect girl is about to crash right into the chaotic, life-affirming world of the girls, and the question is, will she drown? Or will she learn to breathe underwater like the rest of them?
That is the tension. Go pick up The Girls Who Grew Big by Leila Mottley. It is a ride. Thanks for diving in with us.
Until next time.
Catch you later.